So, guys, we're back with Dubster Live, series where we look at something's English dub and let you know how it is and all that stuff. And it's the final Dubster Live of 2023. This was a
That sounds made up.
this was a fun year, with anime at least. We watched a lot of good stuff this year, but we had to end it on something big and something that several people requested: the Haruhi Suzumiya franchise. I mean, it works, because I
Just works.
I mean, with the star who got cancelled earlier this year and all that, guess you could clark this as a pseudo-apology from me, too, because I immediately assumed the worst of her with the whole Yoruichi thing, thinking that she was doing this crap willingly. So, this is my way of making up for it, too. But, yeah. Haruhi Suzumiya, did you enjoy this franchise, Dai? Because we're covering everything. The anime, the movie, the short spin-off, the other anime spin-off. Yeah, we've experienced more Haruhi in the last 2 weeks than I don't know. I'm starting to think we're part of the SOS Brigade, Dai. But alright, let's get right into this. Haruhi Suzumiya is a light novel series written by Nagato Tanagawa and was inspired by Urusei Yatsuda and sci-fi writers like, oh, I'm gonna butcher this, Isaac Asimov and Hideyuki Kikuchi, the Vampire Hunter D guy. I'm confused by that last one. And illustrated by Noisy Ito. To Dai, you might know her illustrations for the artist of Shauna. Actually, now that I think about it, do any of these characters look similar to the Shauna franchise? What?
No.
Well, she also worked on Fire Emblem Heroes and some of the Shining Force games, so she's a big fucking deal. It would begin in
Them all wearing school uniforms.
Wow. Yeah. Series would begin in 2003 with 12 novels until it ended. Meaning, yes, this is the 20th anniversary of the Haruhi franchise, and we didn't even know that until we were already, like, partway into one of the spin-offs. Funny how that works out.
And it got funny again.
Oh, the anime would be done by Kyoto Animation. You know, people behind the Free franchise and Violet Evergarden, which aired in 2006. Apparently, episodes were aired out of order then too in Japan for some reason. I have no idea why.
You can tell they were aired out of order with what happens to the OP if you watch it in chronological order.
Yeah, because it switches to the season 2 OP on like I think 12, and then switches back to the S1 OP on like up 25. It's really fucking stupid. But yeah. The dub would be licensed by Bandai. You know, guys behind Outlaw Star, a lot of the old Gundam stuff, Love Hina, and so on. Back in 2007, with Season 2 coming in 2010. But of course, you all know what happened. Bandai would shut their doors of their anime licensing branch in 2012, which means Funimation would announce the rights to it in 2014 and release their own Blu-ray collection. I will get to that when we get to one of the spin-offs, trust me. I've got some choice words for that shit. In 2016, before Funimation would shut their doors in 2022, and now it seems like it's on Crunchyroll. So, is this show cursed?
Their doors in 2025? Probably.
Yeah. And just be called Sony Anime Division or something. But yeah, the show is cursed, man. Think about it. Anyone who's touched it, the anime licensor has been shut down. Well, we'll get to the dub itself later. So, what does the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, the main series, follow? We follow our main dude, Kyon, who's basically just a normal guy who ends up running into some crazy chick named Haruhi Suzumiya that believes in time travelers, aliens, and espers because she thinks life is boring if those don't exist. She's not wrong, by the way. What? Wouldn't it be cool if you were an alien? Well, either way, she wants to end up forming a club after getting an idea from Kyon to look into this sort of thing. The SOS Brigade, or the Spreading Excitement All Over the World for Haruhi Suzumiya Brigade. Yeah, she's kind of insane, if you couldn't guess. So she ends up recruiting 3 other members, but without knowing it, she also has the powers to will things into existence. She's basically the god of this world, and again, she doesn't know that. So the 3 members she ends up recruiting are an alien, a time traveler, and an Esper, with Kyon being the only normal dude there. And the thing is, all of them know she's a god, but Haruhi, because they don't want her finding out, afraid that it might cause her to end the world unknowingly. So they basically have to go along with her crazy-ass scheme of the week, etc., in order to keep her in check. Pretty fun series. I liked it a lot. Deals with the whole theme of self-discovery, wanting you to find a place you belong, and all that stuff, and keeping your imagination alive. Imagination is a word said a lot in this show. Do you believe in aliens, Die? Yeah, we'll get to the Endless 8 too. We watched all that in a single day, by the way, so trust me, we've seen shit, okay? Anyone who knows this show knows the Endless 8. But before that, Die, animation.
Yes.
It's Kill Annie's. It's Kill Annie, so I'm guessing it's good.
Yeah, it has animation. It's not fucking Orient. Are you serious?
You had to do one more this year, didn't you? How could you? Orient.
You're the one who keeps bringing it up.
It's stupid. It works.
They will forever be a punching bag.
Yeah.
Try to come across as the next big shonen.
That studio did give me DA-Z-Ray, though, so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have played that VN. Anyway, point is, animation is good. As far as the OST, it's your typical slice of life stuff. There's Itsuma no Fukai, that's a theme I really like. The opening to it sounds like the Mega Man 3 Game Over theme for some reason. Though seriously, just listen to them back to back, they kind of do. There's also Oi Oi, which is the theme of Haruhi whenever she wants to plan to do something stupid. Because again, Haruhi is literally insane.
All the time.
Yeah. And of course, the theme everybody knows, because it's been covered several times, God Knows, which is the theme Haruhi sings in one of the last episodes. In the chronological order. Actually, was that the chronological order? Yeah. Yeah. And yes, the singing is all dubbed across everything. So you get to hear Wendy Lee sing it in the dub. There's also the Amelie cover, I guess. That's the one she covered, isn't it?
Yes.
I prefer the Wendy Lee one personally, but your mileage might vary, I don't know. Well, it's a really good song. Y'all should check it out. Speaking of dubs, though, it's time we get to this one. So this was dubbed out of Bang Zoom. And people love Bang Zoom. Right, Di? You love Bang Zoom. I don't fucking know. I mean, they're handling, Mashal. So, that's a thing. Well, the ADR director is Alex Von David, who we've covered just about everything he's ADR directed at this point. Erased, Konosuba, SAO, Kill la Kill. So, he's done good shit. When he's ever the ADR director, you know you're probably going to get a solid dub out of him. With script writer and translation being from Rika Takahashi. Yeah, this was definitely one of those where the Japanese studio wanted their hands all over this to make sure it wasn't fucked with in any way.
If only that was the norm.
It looks like it's getting ready to be, man. Fucking localizers. Anyway.
Get replaced by robots, fucking losers.
Anyway, back on topic though. Yeah, the script is fine. Again, we'll get to some of the script silliness in a little bit. Let's go over the upcast first. First, we have Haruhi herself, our protagonist, voiced by Wendy Lee, Yoruichi from Bleach, Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. I promise we are covering that next year. And Lisa from Dead or Alive. I really want DOA 7 to come out just to see if it'll still be her. You know that's going to be a shit show.
Well, yeah, DOA sounds like it will be pretty shit.
Eh. Well, as far as Wendy Lee's performance, this is probably one of her best known roles for good reason. Because again, Haruhi is insane. You have to be able to be good at voicing someone who is unhinged as fuck. She literally bullies a computer club president dude, voiced by Dave Wittenberg, by the way, into giving her a computer for her club by blackmailing him. Yeah, she forces him to grope one of the other club members and then taking a picture, saying, if you don't give me this computer, then everyone's gonna know you're some creepy groper, man. Just to let you know, Haruhi can be kind of a bitch sometimes. Just ask Kyon, our next main character, which I don't even think we find out his real name. Isn't that his nickname?
Yes.
He's voiced by Crispin Freeman, Alucard from Hellsing, Siegfried from Soul Calibur 3. Why is it he's still Siegfried? I'm sorry, man. Just thought that was cool.
Because he used to change voices every game.
And Hector from Castlevania Curse of Darkness. Also, the male wizard in Diablo 3. Yeah, I had to mention that, because apparently when looking this up, I found out Crispin Freeman loves Diablo. Not sure about his thoughts on Diablo 4, though.
Or 3, for that matter.
Yeah. And again, Kyon is the everyman. Basically, a lot of the viewpoints for the audience are kind of shared by him, including him constantly getting annoyed of Haruhi's bullshit, but knowing he kind of has to put up with it because if he doesn't, the world could literally end. Kind of feel bad for him. And you all know how it goes. Him and Haruhi start growing closer as it goes on, and he begins to appreciate her more and understand her intricacies, or whatever the fuck, how you've ever pronounced that.
You want to try again, or is that your final take?
That's my final take! I'm sticking to it! I ain't dubbing shit right now. I'm good. As far as his favorite episode to dub, it's the one where they do gaming. Because again, he is a hardcore gamer himself, so... There's an episode where they play an RTS or whatever against a computer club. So... It is a really fun episode, I agree with him. I mean, Di, how do you think you'd do it at that RTS? Where they were literally cheating!
Yeah, couldn't even win even after cheating.
Yeah. But it's okay. Do you know why?
Okay.
Because Crispin Freeman does great work. I'll go over the best dub scenes when we're done with the rest of our cast. But next we have our next main character, Yuki Nagato. She's the alien, kind of. She was put on this Earth by the Thought Entity as an observer unit to observe Haruhi. So, yeah. Although, as we learn, it seems like Haruhi willed all of this into existence 3 years before the show took place. So before this, Nagato might not have even existed, or something. What up?
Except for the fact that they did.
Yeah, it's because with the Esper in the club, he says that his Esper powers just awakened 3 years ago. Because, again, Haruhi willed it. Point is, though, Nagato... Yeah. Nagato is an emotionless observer unit thing. Kind of like the Murokuma units from BlazBlue, or Batista from Under Night and Birth. Yeah, it kind of can't be overstated how influential this franchise was in the mid-2000s. Most anime tropes around that time kind of started here. So, who voices our petite alien friend? Michelle Ruff, Rukia from Bleach, Yukari from the OG P3, and Crimson Viper from Street Fighter 4 and 5. Because she's not showing up again in SF6. No, you get Ed instead.
And everyone loves Ed.
Well, Michelle Ruff does good as Nagato. She has that whole thing of having to show very little emotion every now and again, which I feel is pretty difficult to do. It makes me wonder, what would it have been like if Michelle Ruff voiced Rei in Evangelion? Basically a similar archetype.
Well, you can only really improve on mediocrity.
Hey, she's had a couple of good voice actors. Some of the other guys. Anyway, get off topic. Point is, she's good.
I'll know which rate you're talking.
Well, after her, we have Mikuru Asahina, who's I totally don't think is best girl anything. Kyon doesn't disagree with me either, by the way. Okay, he simps for her. She's the time traveler. She's very ditzy and clumsy and everything like that. She's, as Haruhi puts it, the moe mascot of the club because every club needs a representative that just oozes moe. She's voiced by Stephanie Sheh, who's totally not typecasted. You know, Orihime from Bleach. Yeah, there's a lot of Bleach overlap. Hinata from Naruto. And Oreka from Oreka 7. I could probably...
You've heard her play this for like 20 times by now.
Yeah. Anytime, though, she brings up her... because she came from the future. She brings up the future. She keeps saying it's classified information, which becomes a running joke. There's even a moment where she tries explaining an emergency to Kyon during the Endless Eight, where she's like, so I classified information, and then the classified information became more classified information, and then a week later, more classified information. And Kyon's just like, are you serious right now? Because it's like, what the fuck are you saying?
Classified information.
But yeah. Again, it's Stephanie Sheh typecasted. There's nothing to really complain about. She's in her element here. This is her, what she does best, so... Oh, real quick, backing up to Nagato for a second. I didn't mention this. In the earlier episodes, you can notice her voice isn't as deep. It's slightly higher pitched, but again, it's probably her just trying to find her footing. Because a couple of episodes later, she finds it perfectly, like at 4, so... That could be because these were dubbed in different volumes at the time. But yeah. Now our last member of the club is Itsuki Koizumi, who's the Esper who works for the organization. Yes, they even make jokes about how it's such a generic cliche name. And his whole thing is, again, he's trying to make sure Haruhi... Because whenever Haruhi loses patience or gets upset about something, it causes a rip in what's called a closed space, which is something that affects our dimension, but only Espers can see it. So he's got to go into that alternate closed space and stop the shit over there. Could be a monster, which you said looks like a Titan, didn't you?
Yeah.
Could be anything. And yeah. What up?
It was just big, so I called it a Titan.
Oh. Yeah.
It doesn't look like a skinless naked guy.
But those are hot. Anyway, Kozumi's voiced by Johnny M. Bosch. Nero from Devil May Cry, Lelouch from Code Geass, and Sasori from Naruto. Ah, you all thought I was going to say someone else, didn't you? No, we've said enough Bleach.
I mean, you already did. You said Nero.
Shit. This asshole keeps calling Broly Neroli now, by the way, because he knows it annoys me.
And now you just told that you.
Well, anyway, Koizumi's the straight man of the group. You know, he's the one that just goes along with anything. So yeah, sure, man. Like, he's very relaxed all the time. He also finds Haruhi extremely charming, so he's always going to go with her shit, because he clearly simps for her. So...
In every timeline.
Yep. And, yeah. That's basically our main club members. But there's other characters, too. For example, Ryoko Asakura, who's another alien. Or another observer unit. Who's listed as a main character in the Melancholy series, even though she's only like the first 5 episodes. I get the other series, that makes sense, but here it's just stupid. But yeah, TLDR, she ends up going rogue and trying to kill Kyon just to see what reaction she'd get out of Haruhi. She's basically yandere, kind of. And her and Nagato have an alien fight. It's really fucking cool. Well, she's voiced by Bridget Hoffman, who's Shinobu from Love Hina, and Dominique from The Bouncer. Oh, hey, look, another toaster that goes haywire at points in the story. And, again, she does good work. Nothing really to complain about. for what little she has in the main series. She gets way more focus in the spin-offs.
Yeah, but more importantly, she's in the Evil Dead.
I forget the name of that Deadite in Ash vs. Evil Dead that she voices. I know it's one of the stupid dolls that come to life. Well, after her, we have Taniguchi, best friend Kun of Kyon, or as I kept calling him in my notes and the whole show, Yosuke. Because he's little Yosuke. He wants to hit on women and gets rejected constantly because, as Kyon puts it, he literally has no game. Is he wrong?
Yes, he is very wrong.
He's voiced by Sam Riegel, who's Phoenix Wright from the Ace Attorney series and Donatello from the 03 TMNT. And again, he could have been voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, and I wouldn't be surprised. But Sam does a good job. Again, he's comedic relief, best friend Kun that gets fucked over by life all the time. I almost feel bad for him sometimes, man. Especially when he gets roped into Haruhi's bullshit. You know, like the scene when they're filming the movie, and he has to play extra, who ends up throwing Mikuru into a lake, and then she's like, okay, we're done with you, you're fired, get out of here. And he's like, what? But I did what you wanted. Yeah, and that's it. You did what I wanted. You're done. Get out of here.
Can you really?
I said almost feel bad for him, man.
You didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really fucking jacked to not see that coming.
Yeah. The moments with him are fucking hilarious. After him, we have the other best friend Kun that hangs out with him, Kunikita, voiced by Brienne Siddall, who's Jim from Outlaw Star, and Yahiko from one of the Kenshin dubs, one of the LA ones. I think it's the one that was called Samurai X. I mean, hey, Wendy Lee's the other Yahiko. All we're missing is Erica Mendez, and we'd have all three. What?
Yeah, it's dumb that both of them were out of base.
Hey, she's also Circuit the Robotic Owl from Power Rangers Time Force.
Cool.
Anyway, Kunikita's...
Isn't that the one who people really like?
Yeah.
The Power Rangers series.
Yeah, I don't even remember who the fuck that is. But yeah, again, she does fine as Kunikita. You know, he's just hanging around putting up with Taniguchi's bullshit. So, nothing much to say on him. Now, as far as the other characters, the last voice actor to go over really that's a main is Surya, who's Mikuru's friend. Voiced by Kari Walgren, who you don't know as Kagami from Lucky Star, and Seiya from the Blood Plus franchise. Also, Starfire from Injustice 2. There's a reason I'm saying that one. We'll get to it later. She also voiced Kyon's little sister. You might ask, well, what's her name? Kyon's little sister. That's
Pion's sister.
Yep. Man.
And the credits are all translated. That is literally what it's what that character is credited as.
Well, as far as some of the side characters or ad voices, I mean, Dave Wittenberg voiced a few. Tony Oliver voiced a couple too. But more importantly, Vic Mignogna was a few. He was even in the Murder Mystery episode. You know, the one that had a Phoenix Wright parody.
Yeah, did.
Wonder how that went. Because apparently I found out Wendy Lee said that when she dubs, she follows the body language of the characters to get into the role. So even if there's no talking going on, she'll still pay very close attention to see the angle of their movements and how they're positioned. Kind of like studying stage acting and all that stuff. Wonder if she knew it was immediately Phoenix Wright. But yeah, I guess it's time, before we get to any of the fun script stuff, to go over the Endless Eight. Did you enjoy the Endless Eight?
No.
Yeah. So, Michelle Ruff and Johnny Bosch would comment on it, saying that no, they did not reuse any of the same lines. They had to redub every single scene again and again and again. I mean, JYB thought it was brave for the studio to even air all of this shit week after week after week. Look, we marathoned it in a day, and at the time it's like, yeah, it's a funny troll move from the studio, but if they're thinking about it, imagine waiting for this week after week after week as it was airing and seeing this shit. Wouldn't you be fucking pissed?
Yeah.
I mean, JYP had a funny idea to have the voice actors all swap into different roles each week. For example, Johnny would be Haruhi in one episode, but the producer shot that down, unfortunately.
Why, though? It would have gave people something.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, I think they could have included it like a Ghost Stories extra or something on the DVDs, but to my knowledge, they didn't, so. But hey, as far as some of the other standout moments, there's the baseball episode, because every anime has to have the baseball episode. Right?
Yeah, it does.
And in the murder mystery thing, you've got Haruhi saying "Elementary, my dear Watson," which I don't think that was dub only, gonna be honest. Don't Japan love that type of shit?
With how many anime there are based on it, yes they do.
Well, yeah. So tell me, do you agree with Haruhi when she says romantic emotions are just an illness?
Yes.
Oh no, she says they're just a mental illness.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, back to the Endless Eight for a second, though. There's a scene where Kyon takes off a frog costume, which that fucking frog costume is in the background of every episode after this in the club room. The first time he does it, he's like, man, I feel like a Gundam after it lost its armor. And then after that, he says, man, I feel like Unit Zero after it got hit by that beam. Yeah, it just turns into different mecha references. First Gundam, obviously, and then Evangelion.
That's the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, hey, in Loop 7, you called out they were standing in front of a store called Endless.
Yeah.
It's a bit on the nose. Ended up 8, you get Kyon talking in Old English about Haruhi diving into the pool, saying, restrain thyself, dost thou not see the no dive sign? Oh, what's that? Okay, so if you ever watched a series in the Endless Eight, I would say watch Eps 1, 2, and 8. Those are the only ones you really need to watch. The rest you could realistically skip. Unless you want to prove that you've seen all this shit like we did. And I guess one of the other things we could mention is the radio station Nagato's listening to. That had all the mains on it as ad voices.
Yep.
You have Crispin Freeman in the background shouting, unforgiving ace! Unfortunate ace! One for all ace! I'm just like, what the fuck is she listening to? And Michelle Ruff goes on saying she's the bear and Johnny Bosch is the hot pot. It's like, what the dude, what even is this? What?
Sounds unbearable.
I hate you for that. I mean, the last, I guess, arc to go over real quick is the movie arc, for this series at least. Where Mikuru is a bunny who transforms. Get it? Because it's like Sailor Moon if you think about it, which she'd go on to be a few years later, because Usagi means bunny who transforms. Yeah, it was a dumb thing I noticed, because I'm stupid like that. Also, Haruhi's movie made no fucking sense. She even said, we'll come up with the plot and post and editing and stuff. And Kyo's even like, well, who's gonna do all that edit? Me, of course. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, Haruhi doesn't even know what happens when she's like, okay, Mikuru, you're gonna shout Mikuru beam and shoot beams out of your eyes, which, without even knowing it, she wills Mikuru to do it. But Haruhi doesn't understand, again, that she's the one causing this shit to happen. This movie was a fucking disaster. But it was hilarious to watch. As Kyon puts it, when in doubt, just have the camera veer up towards the sky. As far as this is probably where the best dubbed scene is, in my opinion. You know, when Haruhi's trying to bully Mikuru during the film to do a love scene with Koizumi. And Kyon's finally tired of Haruhi's bullshit and goes off on her and they get into a heated argument. I don't know. I really like that scene. Voice actors put all their emotion and heart into it. But you know what the best thing was, Dai?
What?
Taniguchi wolf whistling at chicks. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the typical. I could probably do it better if my mouth wasn't dry from all this talking, but fuck it.
Better?
Yes, better! Shut up. But anyway, he does the thing. And, yeah. Because he's Taniguchi, man. Now, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is a series itself, with all 28 episodes. Is it good? Yes, I think it's good at least. I really enjoyed it. Did you like it, Dai?
If you get rid of it, if you get rid of 5 or 6 episodes.
Being the endless 8. Yeah. Fuck those filler episodes, and yes, they were filler from everything I've looked up. Because I doubt the novelist was releasing the same chapter again and again. That would be hilarious, though.
But how you see all the different swimsuits they're wearing at the pool?
Wait, oh yeah, Mikuru in 8 different swimsuits. You know what, never mind, the endless 8's worth it. Y'all should watch it.
It's not, he's lying.
But, on from that, we have its first spin-off, The Melancholy of Haruhi-chan Suzumiya, or The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya-chan. Why does this have 2 different names? Anyway, there was a manga spin-off that was written by Poyo? I probably butchered that. That began in 2007, with its anime airing in 2009 on Katakawa's YouTube channel for free. The dub would also be produced by Bandai, and you all know, got in the hands of Funimation, which is why I'm bringing this Ultimate Collector's Edition out now, or up now. So, if you look for it now, you can only find the Haruhi spin-off on DVD. You want to own it on Blu-ray? The Blu-ray version's exclusive to the Ultimate Edition. Fuck you, Funimation. That is some greedy-ass bullshit.
Oh, typical.
But yeah. This was still animated by KyoAni, and everyone basically returned. Alex Von David is now the scriptwriter also, though. So, as far as these shorts go, Dai, how is the animation?
They were semi-CGI chibi things.
So,
Still more fluid than Orient. Anyways, what?
Oh my god. Well, yeah, these shorts were hilarious, by the way. I'll go over a couple of them in a second. But first, we've got one new cast member. We've got Kimidori, or Mr. Kimidori, the balloon animal dog that gets a consciousness of its own, voiced by Sam Riegel. Yes, Taniguchi is also featured in this, so it does make it stupid. And I do think a casual would be able to tell easily enough. But either way, you can tell he's having fun. And I'm going to credit him as Kimidori from now on, because how many times can you say he played Kimidori the balloon dog in an anime for someone?
The talking balloon
Exactly. Who's best friends with Asakura, who's back in this series, except now she's chibi-fied. Now she's the mascot of Moeism, I guess, and ends up living with Nagato. But yeah. Also, apparently Nagato likes playing hentai games in this universe. I don't know if you remember how Kyon walked in and he overheard her game of someone on it saying it hurts so good in a very seductive voice. And Kyon, hell yeah. Kyon even asks, like, you like that stuff? And her response is, you know it. What the fuck? Also, there's a scene where Asakura comes out of a box, and the effect, I didn't even notice this till I saw someone comment on it and pointing it out. The literal same sound effect as a Pokeball opening is when she comes out of the box. Which is also the same scene where Nagato brimes her with cake, saying, you know you want it, repeatedly. For some reason, people thought her saying it like that was kind of hot. I might agree. Anyway, yeah, so this is also the time where there's a Sentai-centric episode where we see Tsuruya fight Miss Mori, who's a maid. So you get a Starfire off. Because apparently, Miss Mori is voiced by Kari Walgren in a lot of the material. But it also says in one of the other spin-offs that Hendon Walsh would take over for Miss Mori, who's Starfire in Teen Titans. So,
Teen Titans go.
I know you do. I'm gonna get it for you on Blu-ray. It's okay. But yes, you get a Starfire off. I mean, she's doing a different voice for Miss Mori when it's Kari Walgren, so most people might not even notice. Now, as far as the holiday episodes go, there's some really hilarious shit in here. Like how Haruhi thought Halloween was a day where you make up your own god and make offerings to it.
Especially Cthulhu.
Haruhi is insane, man.
Really?
Yeah. She also says Christmas is about a group of evildoers known as Santa, and they gotta be stopped. Oh my god. This is all your fault, Dai. But yeah, as far as some of the other funny standout moments, I mean, you get Michelle Ruff's singing in this, so you know, that's fun. Asakura seems to like it. You also get a moment of Kyon saying, I love you, Koizumi, which causes Haruhi to pass out because it was something she wasn't expecting. And Koizumi literally says, there's a massive, massive closed space that just opened up I have to take care of now. Thanks for that. Also, the moment where Koizumi and Kyon are male escorts, and you get them saying things like, yo, what up, holla? And I'm the Crimson Bala. Holla. That's quoted. Yeah, our reaction was about what you'd expect to that. You get JYB and Crispin Freeman talking like that.
Yeah.
So, is this spin-off worth it? It's free to watch on YouTube and dub. Yes, 100% worth it. You all should check it out if you've seen the main series, of course. Otherwise, you won't really get a lot of the jokes. Though I will say, apparently Bandai didn't translate a lot of the text in certain moments, and people are saying it ruins some of the jokes for the on-screen shit. I mean, you were pointing that out too, right, Dai? Yeah. But people in the comments section on those YouTube vids basically translated it, so there's that. And this show had potentially one of the saddest top 10 deaths in anime. Mr. Kimidori the balloon dog, who could have potentially died in one episode. Dude, I would have been heartbroken. I love that dog.
Yeah, but he faked you out. How do you feel now?
Fuck that dog. He's an asshole. Treat him like old Yeller. But baby Asakura still needs a hug. What? She's a tsundere baby in this spin-off. Who can still talk, because alien or something. But yeah, that's it for the Haruhi-chan spin-off. Anything else to add, Dai, before we move on?
No.
Now we're on to the Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya film, which is the series finale for the anime, more or less, which was released in 2010. And you all know the deal. First released by Bandai, and then Funny in 2017. But this was not included in their Ultimate Edition Blu-ray collection, because you think an Ultimate collection would include everything, but no, they kept this separate to release a year later to get a little extra money out of you. Nice.
Classic.
Anyway, this film is a Christmas movie, actually enough, and I didn't even know that before we did this, so that's appropriate. And, yeah, follows Kyon waking up in an alternate timeline where Haruhi is seemingly gone, the club never formed, and no one knows each other. So Kyon's all alone, and he's all sad, and has to figure out how to fix it and get back to his old timeline. So, Dai, animation for this.
Yes.
I mean, it's a movie, so I'm guessing this is KyoAni probably at their best. Is that right? Sure. Oh, come on! Dude, you're supposed to shout, yes, they were on fire here! Oh, that was... Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so, dubbed ADR director still Alex Von David, with the script by Sam Panansky? I could not find anything on this dude, so... What is that? As far as the dub cast, it's all the same. Everybody returns. I mean, you got Melancholy voicing a character who's apparently named. That chick who's only in like 2 scenes is named.
Apparently.
Her name's Hayama, if anyone's wondering. But hey, Rachel from Blaze Blue! Series that definitely took cues from this. But yeah. As far as that, that's really all the new dub cast. But hey, there's Haruhi calling Jesus Mr. Christ and saying she got decorations for Buddha, Muhammad, and Jesus for Christmas. I don't think Haruhi understands what Christmas is, huh?
She does, if you don't think about it.
I mean, you also have Sam shouting yeehaw about his potential new girlfriend, and I still believe that, Taniguchi or Yosuke is going to get catfished. If you're going to tell me yeehaw was also in the sub, I'm just confused by that.
We can pretend it was.
Well, as far as the best dub scenes, I mean, this movie is considered probably one of the best anime films, period, based on a series. The dub scenes are all really good across the board. The scene where Kyon reunites with this timeline's Haruhi, and you can hear the emotion in his voice of how happy he is because of how much he missed her. And Haruhi crying over recognizing that he is John Smith. Oh yeah, I got to explain that real quick. Yeah, so there's a moment where Kyon gets sent back in time 3 years and ends up interacting with a younger Haruhi in the main series, and he uses the alias John Smith, and he's the one that encourages her to not let her imagination die and pursue aliens, time travelers, and espers. So it's basically a paradox. Lots of aliens. And, yeah. What makes it even funnier is it's a double paradox in this movie, because Kyon has to go back in time to the same time period again and not interact with his younger self. But you see, if he didn't interact with his younger self, if his younger self never went back in time, then he would have never known where to go when he went back in time in this film, the second time. So... Did I mention that Blaze Blue definitely took cues from this yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should mention that the future Mikuru shows up in these time-traveling episodes, and Stephanie Shade has a much older voice for her and sounds more confident instead of shy and timid. So, good job, Stephanie Shade. Making him sound different enough and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway. This is, again, everyone does a great job here. Nagato getting feelings, though, is what ultimately causes this. It's all her fault. She causes a continuum shift! Damn it, Dai!
Don't teach your alien rope its feelings.
Yeah, and this is when you get Kyon talking to himself, which, again, two different voices where a voice actor has to play off of themselves. I don't know how well that would go if it was a voice actor who isn't anywhere near as equipped to handle it. But yeah. Because he's got a decision to make. A decision to go back to his old crazy world where Haruhi is insane and there's aliens, the world could end, time travelers, aliens, also etc. Or stay in this ordinary world where there's none of that supernatural shit and just, having a normal life, etc. So, I think you all know what he ultimately ends up picking here, since this is meant to be the... Kind of, actually, because we still have one spin-off to cover in a second. I mean, hey, they say the whole kit and caboodle in this, and I'm pretty sure that's a doubling line, too. I don't know if Japanese people use that saying very much.
They do all the time.
Yeah. Also, I love how the story they come up with for Kyon when he doesn't, when they're trying to figure out what happened to him, because remember he gets stabbed by Asakura here and nearly dies, but then he wakes up in his old timeline. I'm like, oh, you don't know what happened? You fell down a few flights of stairs. Why is it always the fucking stairs?
Blame Bleach.
That was a nice touch I saw someone point out, by the way, where at the start of the movie, he says he misses Mikuru's tea, but at the end, he's saying how much he loved to try Haruhi's hot pot, basically bringing it full circle, that by the end of it, he realizes that Haruhi's the one that matters most to him in the end, and that he missed her the most. I didn't even catch that, so, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of shit I probably would have caught more if I watched this a second or even third time. But anything else to add, Dai, on the disappearance of Haruhi? Because there's so much we could really say about it, but we wanted to focus on the dub itself.
Disappear?
No, we got to talk about the disappearance in a second. Point is, this film, people call it a masterpiece. I probably would agree with that. This film is really fucking good, but it is also really long at clocking in at almost 3 hours. So just be aware of that before you start it. Now...
Over 5 minutes of credits.
Yeah. I mean, hey, apparently this film was inspired by something called Kimagure Orange Road, which also the Steins Gate film took cues from. I never seen this, so I wouldn't know. Someone can tell me on that. But okay, that's the film, which is also really good, and a perfect way to cap off the Haruhi main franchise for the anime, at least. I think it ended at a really good spot. They could make more of the main series if they wanted to, but they don't really need to either. But we're not done yet, because Dai, we're going back to Disappearance again! The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan, which is a manga written by Poyo, the dude who wrote the Haruhi-chan short spin-off, and began in July of 2009, with an anime by Satellite, who did the first season of Log Horizon, Heat Guy J, which is another series that I want us to watch next year. I heard it's good. Has JYB in it too. And Sympho Gear, a series I would love to get dubbed, but fuck you, Discotheque. Anyway, speaking of which, Dai, Satellite, how's the animation?
Do I have to repeat the same thing I said before?
But I'm guessing...
Get it by now?
I'm guessing still not as good as KyoAni. I don't know, like, if you had to compare the two. Is it always still decent, like all the characters on point?
Yes.
Okay, because we brought this up before with Part-Timer, how it switched studios and everyone pointed out the downgrade.
Outside of the corner cutting in the beach episode.
Which was near the end of the series, so that was probably when they were running out of budget, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can cut them a little.
On the beach ball in the air.
Yeah.
All the talking in the background.
I guess you could still cut them some slack, though. Well, this would air in April of 2015, with Funimation getting the rights to simuldub it, out of 2 studios. First, Okatron, which is the rape dungeon. What? It's run by Chris Sabat. I'm calling it the rape dungeon. You all can't stop me. With the ADR director there being Donald Schultz. And the second dub studio being the Abertot, ran by Todd Abercorn. Oh, yeah, that's clever, isn't it? I could not find anything about this dub studio at all. Also, it says Alex Von David was still somewhat involved. But I couldn't tell you which episodes each ADR director was in charge of. I'm guessing Okatron handled the Texas voice actors, while the LA ones were handled by, well, everyone else.
It's more likely they only handled the ad voices / Texas was.
Yeah, so...
I'm sorry, they stopped doing ad voices after, like, episode 6. Now they're extras.
Yeah. As far as if they got everyone back, yes, they surprisingly did. So they got everyone back, except Kunikita. See, he was Brienne Siddle. Now he's some bitch named Brienne Brody. I don't know who the fuck this... Oh, it's the same person. Never mind. But yeah. And there's one episode where someone's replaced. Bridget Hoffman, who I should mention, she's doing a deeper voice for her take of Asakura in this spin-off, is voiced by Bryn April now for one episode. And only one episode, too. You all know Bryn April.
Which you should be more surprised by with how SAG was involved in this.
Yeah. You all know what SAG rhymes with. It rhymes with cigarette. What?
Close enough.
Anyway, Bryn April does okay enough, I guess. I mean, you'll notice it, but it's not, like, as far as people they could have gotten to sound close. It was alright. Speaking of the story...
The reason I bring that up is you would think with how SAG is, they would have used another fucking LA person.
Yeah,
shit.
Agreed. As far as the rest of the ad voices, they're Texas-based. Rico Fuhardo's a few. You also get Vic. And Dave Wittenberg. Yeah, the ad voices in the background are really fucking weird. I didn't even bring up what the premise was for this show. So basically, it's a what if Kyon decided to stay in the other world and it overwrote the main timeline, and now it's just a normal universe. So everyone is normal. So Nagato is now... She has emotions. She's a shy, timid book girl. And is super cutesy at points, too. If you're going to tell me she's not adorable, you're lying. So Michelle Ruff has to do a completely different take on this character. As far as Haruhi, she's still insane, and so on and so forth. And they end up forming their same friend group anyways by the end of it. So... As far as great moments, I mean, you get Koizumi saying that card games are a microcosm of life.
Sure.
I mean, this is the same episode that had a moment that made me laugh my ass off with how defeated Kyon sounds at Haruhi's bullshit again, where he's like, oh, okay, so let's play the game Concentration. And Haruhi just says, so we're playing Old Maid. And Kyon just goes, of course we are, Haruhi. It's just the way he says it, man. He sounds so fucking defeated. It's like, I'm not even going to bother anymore. I mean, do you blame him, though?
Yes.
Also, this Nagato is shit at explaining things. So when she's trying to explain math, she says, well, you see, the boingy number combines with the fluffy number and then becomes this, and it becomes the tightish number. Yeah, they did this whole joke where it's like, don't ask Nagato anything about schoolwork, and Kyon's like, why? And then you find out why, and that's it.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you get Asakura calling shoujo manga shouju manga. Yeah, someone fucked up there. Yeah. At least this spin-off gives you dub singing from Stephanie Sheh and Crispin Freeman, which means every club member across the whole franchise got to sing at one point except for JYB. And that makes me sad, actually. What, are you saying you don't want to hear JYB sing? He's in his own band, man! Anyway. Yeah. As far as Michelle Ruff goes for herself here, The main plot when she gets hit by a car and yeah, don't ask. It's weird. She becomes emotionless, like in the main series, so she has to return to giving her the old Nagato treatment again. Which I wonder if people noticed their first time through. Did you notice that something was off with Nagato right away with how she was talking?
Yes.
I mean, hey, it's around the point where Asakura says to Kyon at this point, where she says, if my stress gets too out of hand, I might snap and stab you in the back, Kyon. Crazy alien bitch. Kyon even makes a comment at one point in the series saying, you know, for some reason the image of you wielding that knife is terrifying me when she's cutting up food. Well, what up?
Little did you know.
Yeah. I mean, when Nagato is back to being her old, I guess, alien self, I like to go with the theory that her alien observer unit basically swapped places with her in this instance until the original Nagato from this world woke up. But you never know. Anyway, the alien confesses her love to Kyon, and right before she fades away for the original one to wake up. Why am I saying this? Because it's probably the best dub scene from Crispin Freeman in this, where you can hear his frustration at not being able to give her a correct answer of his feelings or anything in his response. She's like, oh yeah, I love you, by the way. Anyways, I'm disappearing now. Bye. You could just tell he's like, why would you tell me that? How am I supposed to answer? I can't even answer. You left. And now you made it awkward for the other Nagato who's awake now. Also, you get Michelle Ruff having to talk to herself. So you get two Nagatos interacting. The same thing I said about Crispin Freeman in the film applies here. Michelle Ruff does a good job here having to play off of herself. But, it's time for your favorite thing. To bring up the, real quick, how many times Haruhi mentioned the word fucking goblin during the Test of Courage episode?
Yeah.
Ghouls, goblins, demons, and ghosts. Or Nagato, where she says ghosts and goblins a few scenes later. Does someone...
She uses goblins as background noise if you listen close enough.
Yeah, someone was definitely a fan of Ghosts and Goblins, whoever wrote this episode or the dub script. One or the other. Well, as far as this, the final episode basically ends with an Endless 8 callback, because everyone wanted that, I'm sure. With them doing some of the same things from the Endless 8, like going to a festival. That makes sense, though. It's a rom-com. I can't be mad at that. And going to the batting cages and all that shit. What I can be mad at is the trauma of the post-credit scene where Kyon's watching a fucking baseball game and gets a call on his phone from Haruhi. That's how the Endless 8 starts every episode. Dude, you don't understand.
Except for the ones where it doesn't.
The Endless 8 scare me. They even go fucking cicada catching again. Make a left turn, you'll be at fucking Hinamizawa where all the cicadas are crying. Anyway, that's Disappearance. Is it good? If I had to say, it's probably the weakest out of the four in my opinion. What do you think? What?
Yes.
Did you even hear what I said, or are you just tuning out?
You pretty much can only watch it after watching the original ones.
Yeah. See, back in the day, we tried starting this first, and it wasn't good. Don't do that. Don't start here. You need to have at least seen everything of the main series and the Disappearance film. They make so many callbacks to it, including Haruhi remembering John Smith and recognizing that Kyon is him partway into the series, but doesn't say anything about it. So, again, not bad, but I do prefer the main series over this.
If it was more watchable as a standalone.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I guess you could say this was primarily meant for fans who just wanted one more send-off with the anime and the characters. So, for that, it's very okay. So, if I had to rank them, the Disappearance film would definitely be at the top, followed by the main series, then the Chan spinoff, and then this. But none of them are bad. All of them are still really solid. And that brings us neatly to the end. As far as MVP for the show, well, it's an all-star cast. Or as some dude online said, an all-lucky star cast. I saw someone say that. And yes, we might as well mention it here. Lucky Star does have a scene literally called the Haruhi Cafe, where you have Kyon and Nagato in it, and Konata, the main female, also voiced by Wendy Lee, cosplaying Haruhi and acting like Haruhi. Lucky Star is going to get its own episode in the future, though, so we'll cover all that shit then. But I figured I'd throw it in there just to say we covered all the bases of Haruhi. And if anyone's wondering, Nagato did get an OVA, but it is included on the Blu-rays and not dubbed, because again, say it with me now, fuck funny.
But they're so great at being incompetent.
Yeah. Well, at least everyone fit right back into the roles with this show. And hey, Nagato, if you're a fan of Tsuruya, she gets way more screen time here, I guess. Actually, yeah, in the spin-off, she gets way more screen time, period, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's insane, by the way. I didn't even mention her whole thing. She's apparently some rich bitch that also is obsessed with Mikuru. Y'all know Haruka from Fooly Cooly? Kari Walgren's literally giving the same performance here. Again, the character's just out of her fucking mind. And laughs at everything. But before this video becomes like 16 hours, I think we could finally call it there. Did you enjoy this ride through the whole Haruhi franchise, Dai?
I could do without 5 or 6 episodes.
Is it the Endless 8?
It's the Endless 8.
Wow. I mean, I was laughing at it because of how much of a troll dick move it was for Killani to do it. But hey, in the comments, who's best girl, and why is the answer... I mean, I honestly agree with any of them. They did a good job making Haruhi still likable, even all the shit she does. Because that's extremely hard to do. What, how many times have they have series try and make it a character like that, but make them unlikable as fuck? Because they don't understand how to do that?
A lot.
Yeah. And it helps that, again, whenever she does act way too out of line, Kyon does call her out. That poor computer club president. But, yeah.
Like you're jealous of him.
Mikuru is hot, man. He might have been blackmailed, but he... Never mind. Yeah, so, the Haruhi franchise, really good. Fucking watch it if you haven't. It's considered one of the top tier rom-coms, and I'm glad we finally got to see it. So, that brings recommendation season to an end. So, thank you all for your recommendations. They were all really solid this year, actually. Except for Demon Lord Retry. But that was for Nomi, so never mind, it was enjoyable. As far as...
You got a hit on your hand if he shows up in the episode.
Well, as far as what's next, 2024 is going to be a fun year for Dubster Live. Plenty of shit we plan to cover, especially some of the classics we haven't covered yet. I already mentioned Big O, Heat Guy J, Bebop. There's going to be others in there too, I'm sure. Too many to name off, so I hope you all enjoyed this long video, and let us know your favorite part of Haruhi, favorite episode even. Dai, did you have a favorite one-off episode? Because mine is probably, I agree with Crispin Freeman, probably the game one.
Yes, clearly it's the endless.
Hey man, I was happy to find out Nagato's a hardcore gamer in that episode. And then they carried it over from there with a spin-off. I didn't even mention, yeah, the spin-off turns everyone up to 11, obviously, because again, comedic chibi shorts. But y'all could probably guess that. But that's it. For real.
Like the episode where Haruhi's dying of a nosebleed.
Yes. When she's asking for ideas for a story. But we're rambling now. We don't want to spoil too much. Y'all could go watch it. We already listed off some of the key moments. And y'all should watch it. Especially if you're a fan of romance, supernatural shit, and all that stuff. Because I actually agree with Haruhi wholeheartedly. Life can be fucking boring at times, so why not use your imagination and imagine big, damn it? What, I believe aliens could be out there. They're probably watching us right now, watching the human race and laughing their asses off.
Yeah, they probably just glanced out and like, we'll pass. Go to the next planet. Mars is looking much better.
I don't know. There's probably a portal to hell there.
Yeah, that's much more interesting.
Alright, guys. Thanks again for watching, and hope you all have yourselves a great day, and Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all had a fun season. Until next time, thanks again for watching. And remember, Mikuru for the win. You know you want it.